And a 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm feeling very moody. I think we should get...
Feeling moody?
Yes, I think we should get in this. Hello and welcome back to the Dookie Spooky podcast.
Yeah.
The podcast where we watch...
He's not recording yet.
No, I am.
The podcast where we watch scary movies and rank them in an ever-growing list to find the worst horror movie of all time.
To be clear, we watch bad scary movies.
Only those. Yeah, no good ones here.
Not really.
No, there's some okay ones.
Yeah.
But those are the best we have.
Well, I think the best score we have is like a 6. So that's not great.
Yeah.
Slightly above average.
Well, today that might change.
We'll see about that.
Yep, I don't think so.
There are, of course, time codes in the description below if you want to jump around or skip any sections. That being said, why don't we do some non-spoiler talk here? And I think it was... did I
I'm
pick
sorry,
the movie?
do they know who's talking right now?
Yeah,
oh, yeah, I'm
you
Pierce.
did. I'm Jack.
I'm Chris.
Yeah, Riley's gone again today.
Yes, that's true. She's off.
Yeah.
And Jack's doing a really good impression of her.
Yeah.
Or Chris is doing a really good impression of her. Whoever's doing an impression of Riley right now is doing a really good job.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Okay? Let's just be clear about that. This week we watched, I think it was my movie, so we watched M3GAN.
Megan?
M3GAN.
M3GAN. That's how it's spelled.
That's how
I'm pronouncing it phonetically.
Yeah.
It's okay.
M3GAN.
Cool. It's called it's
called what?
Megan.
Yeah.
Megan.
Megan.
That's how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
It's pronounced Megan.
Yeah. So, per usual, I've got some general information.
Came out in 2022, right?
Standard stuff, yeah. M3GAN came out 2022.
I hate you.
Budget of $12 million.
Okay.
Box office of... We haven't done this game in a while. Does anybody want to guess what the box office was? How much it made?
I'm going to guess 9 million.
You guess it made $9 million? And it cost $12 million. So you think it lost money?
I did.
Okay.
You
Chris?
do?
Yeah.
I think it made 70 million.
It made $181 million.
No way.
I knew it made a lot of money.
Yeah.
I was going to go 150, but...
I mean, I don't know.
I remember them marketing the shit out of this movie.
Yeah, like the marketing was strong, so the actual budget was probably 24 million, because that was probably the budget for the marketing. But still, that made a shitload of money.
It did make a ton of money.
So the story was created by Akilah Cooper, who I don't know, and James Wan, who was the director of Saw. Director and creator of Saw, Insidious, The Conjuring, Furious 7.
Damn.
Yeah. So he went from classic horror movies to Fast and Furious.
And we talked about this guy before.
And I oddly remember Fast and Furious 7 was...
It's a good one.
It was good?
Yeah, it's a great one.
I feel like they kind of fell off after the 5th.
No, that's when they got really good. Just crazy that those guys went from stealing DVD players to international super spies.
Yeah.
That's a crazy jump.
Cool.
Anyway, he also made
and
Aquaman.
eventually astronauts.
Yeah, that's true. He also made Aquaman.
Yeah.
And Aquaman.
I stopped watching after
yeah.
the 5th or 6th. Sorry, go.
Aquaman's bad too.
Yep.
So he's made some good stuff and some not good stuff.
The good stuff's horror.
Yes. He's like a renowned, famous horror movie director and producer. So he created the story for this and he produced in this. This is his second movie about a killer doll. The first being Annabelle.
That's not really... He didn't make that up, though. That's based on a true story.
Kinda. We'll say loosely.
Yeah, I was going to say loosely.
Loosely based on a true story. But he produced that movie, and I think he directed that movie too. I could be wrong. This movie underwent reshoots and post-production in order to secure a PG-13 rating after the original was deemed too violent. I would love to see the too violent cut.
Yeah. I would love. Yeah.
Because this towed the line, I think, for PG-13.
I agree.
At a couple times. So I would love to see the rated R version. final piece of information I have is that a sequel is set to come out mid next year.
Yep.
James Wan, who produced this one, I don't think is returning, and he said that he did not know where a sequel would go, which is always a good sign. When the creator of a series goes, well, I don't know where you're going to go from the original, but good luck.
Even though he set it up at the end.
I think that's standard practice nowadays, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you're not trying to make
just in case type of thing.
if you're not trying to make a multi-movie series, then what are you even doing nowadays? If you're not trying to make a connected cinematic universe,
Yeah. What's the point?
then what's even the point?
Fair.
Why?
Yeah, that's just the day we live in.
Okay.
It's a modern film scene.
Yeah, it's just what it is. He set up sequels. So I have a feeling that he was kind of obligated to do that, probably.
Okay.
Which I think this would have been a really good just standalone one-off.
I agree.
I mean, I don't really feel a need to see a sequel to it, but maybe you guys feel different. So...
No, I agree.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with just having a good, solid one-off. Say it's good.
I feel like it wasn't so, like... It was perfectly fine the way that it is. To me, it was a good movie. Spoiler, I like this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Are we surprised?
No.
But it wasn't, like, so good that I, like, expect a sequel now.
You're craving
so
it?
now, yes. Well, so now I feel like I would just be disappointed by anything else that comes
Sure.
out.
Yeah. I mean, usually sequels are worse than the originals.
Yeah.
But
sure.
we'll see what happens. Initial reviews. That's a pretty good segue since you were kind of touching on it already.
Yeah.
You liked it?
I did like it. I was hooked the entire time.
Really?
There were some parts where I'm like, that's kind of stupid, but I honestly, I liked. They did the stupid shit in a way it made it a good movie.
Yeah. I mean, this is another kind of black comedy that we've watched now, which we've watched quite a few so far. Just like
Wait, okay, what do you mean by black comedy?
like horror comedy, like a dark
Okay.
comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, I think, very clearly one of those because there's just some stupid shit in it.
Yeah.
Like the intro was dumb.
Yeah.
The intro is like, this is dumb and obviously a joke, but which I think, I've said before that I think directors can use that as like a fallback for not being as good because you're like, well, it doesn't have to be as good because it's funny. I liked this movie actually, but because I didn't get the sense that they were using the comedy as like a fallback for the movie's shortcomings, it was just like, no, we're good. We made this to be a little bit funny, but we've still got good production and a decent story. So I liked it. It was just a good time.
This may be
Yeah.
the first time we are on the same page.
Yep. I did not. I did not. I didn't like it. I was able to get through it. I was able to watch it, but just something about it was very lackluster to me. I honestly, there's another segment that comes after this that I want to wait for. Actually, I'll just mix it in. What's the story?
Yeah, because that's. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
We'll do that now.
To me, this just kind of felt like AI girl Chucky.
Yeah,
Like it's the exact same Chucky where killer doll, slight comedic scenes in the movie. Like it felt like a ripoff of Chucky to me the entire time watching it, and
Yeah.
I couldn't get past it.
perhaps it was an homage.
Maybe.
I think probably not, but I mean, no, it's definitely derivative
Yeah, for sure.
of other things. But I like the twist of kind of because I think it was probably a bit ahead of the curve with the whole AI conversation that's going on nowadays.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that conversation was like in 2022, but I don't think it was as heavy.
Not like this. No.
And so I think this, touches on some of those topics, but again, nothing that hasn't already been touched on in other movies.
Yeah.
Like Ex Machina
Yep, I was
touched
just
on
thinking
it.
that same
Terminator
thing.
touched on it back in the 80s. So, but what was the story, Chris?
Yeah, it was AI girl Chucky.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's fair. Letterboxd reviews. Anybody? Anybody got a Letterboxd review?
I have
Not
one.
on time.
I will start it off.
Yes, please do.
Let me open.
I had to
it.
scroll a bit to find mine.
I found mine pretty quick from Ram Heart. Gave it 3.5 stars. She really thinks titanium's a lullaby.
I saw a ton of Letterboxd comments that were like, I love when she's saying titanium.
Yeah.
That's a lullaby. Mine was by Jordan Beaumont Anderson, which is a great name. He gave it 1.5 stars and said, a terrifying homicidal robot child with piercing, soulless eyes might be the only thing in the world more annoying than a regular child.
Damn.
Yeah. Wow.
Can confirm.
Yeah.
I can confirm that. That is a fact. Riley, got a Letterboxd review for us?
My Letterboxd review comes from Boner Chomper 46 with 5 stars. And I picked this one because it seemed relevant at the time. This is an Ex Machina Slakewool.
Yeah.
Ex Machina.
I saw
Ex Machina.
That was
sorry.
another thing. I saw so many goddamn reviews of this who were like either talking about it being camp or talking about it slaying.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, I don't miss that time.
Nope.
Don't miss
Not at all.
2022 when those were the words everybody used.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I actually, Jack just sent me a Letterboxd review of his own.
Did he?
Yeah.
What?
From Jay.
Bullshit.
It's a 2.5 stars. It says, let Megan say fuck. Just all caps. And I agree. Maybe that was what was cut out to, edge it to the PG-13
Well,
side.
I know that explicit language does play a part in ratings, so probably there was some cursing cut out of this.
Yeah, you can't have both.
Yeah, I mean, I'll save it for the spoiler section.
I want to
What I
share
was
this
gonna
one
say.
because I think it's really funny.
Doubling up, are you?
Yeah, but it's 3.5 stars by Nico Pico, and it says Megan not only be slaying people but dance floors too.
Yeah. Good dance moves.
Yeah. That
You
was,
know? You could tell that TikTok was really in the front of people's minds in 2022.
yeah.
This movie is like kind of a time capsule to 2022.
Yeah,
It is. This movie would actually probably be really fun to watch in like 10 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Or even further out where people are like, this is what?
Yeah, like what the fuck is going on?
What are these people talking about? Why is everybody saying slay, queen? What does that mean? Don't understand. I hate it. I hate that
I love it.
phrase.
Slay.
It's dumb.
Period.
I also hate it.
Well, we're way off track.
Yeah, I was gonna say we are a little off track.
Let's
here.
get into spoilers. Let's do that now. Spoiler section of the movie. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So my first thing is that, like, I wish this movie was a bit grittier, and I wish it was rated R, because the PG-13, I think, just made it feel a bit too sanitary and clean.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I've seen a lot of James Wan's other horror movies, and apart from, I would say, like, Saw in particular, they all have that kind of, like, clean, glossy feel to them, which I'm not crazy about in a horror movie.
No, yeah, I like my horror movies to be a little gritty,
Because I feel like it disconnects
dirtier,
you.
Yeah,
It takes you out of being in the world as much because you're like, why does everybody look so good all the time? And why is everything so glossy and clean and perfect? But that's kind of a minor detail. But spoilers. We're in the spoiler section now. Where do we want to start?
The intro, it threw me way the fuck off.
Yeah, the ad.
I had to ask Chris.
Yeah.
I was like, is this a movie?
Well, yeah, I rented it, and then as soon as that came on, I was like, what the fuck? Why is there ads on this movie I rented? And then I was like, oh, this is part of the movie. That's crazy. But it was good, because imagine seeing it in a theater,
That's true. Yeah.
and you've got all the commercials and ads before a movie, and then that pops up, and you're like, oh, good, another ad.
trailers, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it's the dumbest thing in
Yeah.
the world. It's the
Of an
dumbest commercial.
It's fucking ugly too. Who would want that as a
That
toy?
Furby, but way worse and more annoying.
Yeah.
Because it's just a Furby, but worse.
Yeah.
But the commercial's crazy because it's like, is it a song? It's like, oh my goodness, my dog is dead and I'm so sad.
Yeah.
yeah.
So then they get this kid a fucking like
Forever Pal or whatever it's called.
Yeah, well, what was it called? It had a dumb name. It was basically, like a forever friend. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's basically a Furby that, I don't know, it shits, it talks, and it shits.
Yep.
I mean, what more could you want in a toy?
Peak toy.
Yeah.
Here.
I don't know. And it that's about the moment I was like, oh, God, I didn't realize that this was a comedy, but I guess it kind of is. And then what? The cuts to a kid who's got one of the...
I think she's on like an iPad or something.
Yeah, and she's feeding her Furby thing in the car. She's with her family. They're going up to what I'm pretty sure is where The Shining happens. I'm pretty sure they were going to the Shining house. That's what it looked like. Because I think The Shining took place in Colorado. So maybe it's good that they fucking died.
Yeah, probably.
Then that was one of my notes was maybe if you stop your car in the middle of the road during a heavy blizzard.
As you're talking about pulling over.
Yeah, and then you get hit by a truck. Maybe that's natural selection. Maybe you're a fucking idiot and you shouldn't stop your car in the middle of a road.
I won't use the word should, but I will say you might be onto something.
Yeah. Contender for the Darwin Awards.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you literally cannot see in front of you and you're talking about pulling over, chances are you probably should already be pulled over, not stopped.
Also, why was that truck driving around with its lights off? Did you notice that?
No, I didn't.
That it was just nothing in front of them. It was just white. It was a whiteout. And then all of a sudden, truck, lights.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, so you just driving around with your lights off, guy? What the fuck's wrong with you? What the hell?
Yeah, there could have been some indicator of, oh, we're going to die.
Yeah, and what, were they on the wrong side of the road or was the truck on the wrong side of the road?
Yeah.
You don't get any answers to these questions that I'm posing.
No.
They're
But
good
it's not
questions.
really relevant.
No, because the parents die.
And the kid gets sent to her aunt's house.
Who invented the horrible toy.
Perpetual pets is what they're called.
Perpetual pets. Because they're perpetually annoying.
Yeah. And I think Hasbro stole their idea. There's some
Dude,
shit like
they
that.
called out Hasbro a couple times in this
Yeah,
movie.
they did.
I was, ooh, damn. I'm surprised Hasbro didn't have a fit over that.
Spicy. Yeah.
Because they also try to make horror movies, but they're usually way worse. Like they made Ouija.
Yikes.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. Then you're introduced to fucking Ronnie Ching's character, who's a great comedian. Loved him. He was the CEO of the company.
Yeah, like the boss.
So him acting just weird is probably a part of the comedy.
Yeah, he's a funny comedian. He has some
Okay.
good bits online.
See, I don't know him.
Yeah, I
Not in the
recognized him
scene.
immediately. But he was the one who, in the first scene when they're working on the M3GAN
Yeah.
robot, when he's trying to get in, and they fucking, they're like, oh no, it's actually a really good thing. And then he leaves and he's like, I want a key card for this fucking door. And I was like, yeah, he's good. I mean, he has some good chops in this.
Yeah, he does. I'll give him that.
He filled his role very well.
Yeah, he did a good job. But yeah, you're introduced to the M3GAN doll and its horrible face. Yeah. I also loved how they have the doll and it's got no skin. But they get this like latex face for it, like this mask.
Well, they're talking about how it's like thousands of dollars or whatever.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this? What is this? It looks like a rubber mask. What the fuck? And then he just slams it on the table and they put it on and she's like, no, don't rip it. It's worth thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
I'm like, how?
That they're not supposed to be spending.
Like
also.
what part of that cost $1,000? You could go to any Halloween store and get one that looks just as good.
Yeah. Also, who's signing off on these purchases?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you just have access to the company credit card.
Like, that's an advanced ass fucking robot.
That is. She said $100,000.
Is that how much that cost to make?
Yeah, that's what she said on the phone to her friend or whatever.
Well, it's crazy if she made it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Also, yeah.
because the first one
seemed pretty
blew up.
quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Her head blew up.
Yeah.
I think I had a note about that. I said, highly explosive children's toy.
Yeah.
Always a good sign.
Yep.
I mean, I really thought that head explosion would come back. I thought that was going to be like the Chekhov's gun. Was the thing that he forgot to plug into her and her head exploded.
Like it comes loose or something.
I thought that was going to be it. I thought they were going to try to.
Yep.
That's how they were going to defeat her,
Nope.
but they don't.
You know what it was?
A fucking
Brain chip.
yeah.
That's what it was.
Chekhov's robot brain chip is what I wrote. I was like, that's the thing you bring back is the brain chip.
Yeah,
Incredible.
Not the cool scene of like her face melting and blowing up.
I was like, I really thought that was going to be the climactic scene of this movie, and it wasn't at all. It was just a tussle. I don't know what you guys have any specific thoughts or notes from the beginning of it.
I don't know. It was pretty basic. The kid comes home. You have the classic, like, is she fit to be a real parent?
The dog jump scare when they first got back to her house scared me.
Oh, yeah. That neighbor
yeah.
was annoying.
Yes. Although at first she seemed kind of nice. When you're first introduced to the neighbor.
Yeah, she didn't seem terrible. It just kind of made Rebecca or whatever her name is
her name was Gemma.
Oh, Gemma.
Oh, who?
Gemma.
Rebecca was from the last movie.
Yep, you're right.
Is Gemma a name?
Yeah.
Have you ever met somebody with the name Gemma?
Yeah.
Really?
In high school, yeah.
What is it short for something?
Really?
No.
We went to the same high school. I don't know if I know.
She
this
was in my
person.
chem class,
Okay, I'll trust you.
Dang.
I think.
Gemma. I'd never heard that name, so I was caught off guard when they kept saying it.
I've heard that name multiple times.
Yeah, I've heard it before, but I don't know if I've known anybody with it.
Anyway, yeah.
You thought she
go
was
ahead.
rude? I don't know. I might just be triggered by people who can't control their dogs.
Well, I was going to ask about that. I have a note that says, let's see, where's it at? Gotta find it. Oh, there's a question posed to Chris. How does this dog attack in this movie? How does it
Shake up?
Yeah, like in terms of a real dog attack, because Chris.
It actually,
Yeah.
I did kind of think this when so we're skipping a little bit. Eventually, M3GAN reaches under there's a hole in the fence that the dog keeps running through.
Yeah, neighbor has a bad dog.
Yep. Later on in the movie, M3GAN reaches through it to grab like some
A
arrow
toy
or
arrow.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the dog starts mauling her.
Yeah.
I felt this was pretty realistic because it started with the arm kind of pulling that, yanking it.
Yeah.
Then
The child screaming bloody murder in
then
the
it
background.
it went to the neck.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like,
immediately.
wow, that is like if a dog was attacking a child, that's what would happen.
Well, as somebody who's been attacked by a dog, I was like, surely Chris has some good insights into this.
Yeah,
He's
no.
the only person I've ever met who's been attacked by a dog, so.
It was it was pretty realistic actually.
Yeah, that dog knew what it was doing.
Yeah.
It wasn't its first rodeo.
No.
That dog has clearly fucked up a kid before.
Yeah. Well, and then he fucked up
Yeah.
the real kid
Yeah.
with her arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah,
Bad.
I just bit her. It's
a big chomp.
I wouldn't say fucked her up.
But so the reason why I think we should go back a little bit. They end up creating M3GAN, and her whole program is essentially to protect and cater to the well-being.
Well, I
of-
think its original purpose was to, like, basically be,
A friend.
yeah, kind of like like a educational toy is the vibe I got.
Yeah.
But it quickly, like, oversteps that boundary.
into a
what you were saying.
parent replacement.
Into, like a supporting role for a child.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
think of the idea of testing this prototype intelligent robot on your own niece? Good idea,
See,
bad idea.
I think there needs to be a little bit of a distinction.
Uh-huh.
Is it just a niece, or is it a niece who just lost her parents?
Yeah, whose both parents are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's two. I think it could have gone a lot differently. Looking at, just how it affects the child. If I think it.
A child who's already addicted to technology.
Yeah. Well, that's every child now, too, though. So.
Dude, nice modern commentary.
Yeah.
That's really solid.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Are you being sarcastic? I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
No, it's good.
Okay.
No. Just keep going.
Sorry.
That's how I work with it. You just keep going.
I think it is less controversial if it was just a normal, stable child that, has both their parents and is just looking for a friend toy. However, they did absolutely no fucking prior testing to this and didn't test it long enough. And so I'm not surprised that everything kind of blew up. But I think it was absolutely wrong of her to put her niece in the situation that she did.
As the
given
test
circumstances.
subject.
Yes.
So
It's kind of crazy.
it is kind of crazy. I don't necessarily think it's even with the parent stuff. I don't think it was necessarily bad using her to test it. In fact, I almost feel like it was kind of the initial reason of, I don't have any toys. Like, you clearly hate it here.
Right.
You're kind of interested in this robot. Let me give you something.
Sure.
Not the worst, but she didn't really test. Her testing it was like, okay, I made it. Now you just keep it.
Yeah,
and she didn't really check in on it or do any monitoring.
Well,
She just kind of let it. Do
All
its
she
own
had
thing.
all she had to hear was to tell her put the coaster back on, and she was like, "Okay, I like this.
Yeah,
thing, and I'm
this-
cool."
Yeah,
This
she's like,
thing's
"Oh,
cool."
you're doing the parenting stuff. I don't really want to
What?
do. I like it."
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It was just like crazy to me to be like, yeah, I've got this Terminator. And now I'm going to test it with my child.
Yeah. Well, so at first,
Okay. Can we like start with maybe animal testing and see how it reacts to having a dog maybe?
well, and the thing is,
Crazy.
like, it wasn't, again, like at the beginning, it wasn't a Terminator. And at the beginning, at the start,
I don't know. It looked like a Terminator
it
when
was
it didn't
okay.
have a face.
That's fair.
That is fair. That is fair. But like at the start, I feel like it was fine. It was a not normal, but it was just a advanced toy. Like there was no harm, no foul. It had a very basic kind of role in what it did.
Yeah.
And then she just let it do its own thing, so it kept growing unchecked.
Well,
Which I feel like is a real
with
issue.
the way that she programmed it to constantly import new knowledge. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And thinking of it like that,
probably
like how
not the best idea.
and then to not put any protocols on it. That was my thing. I was like, how the
yeah, not having any like caps. On what it can
Which
learn.
is,
Yeah.
yeah, and generally like the way coming from like a data kind of field, the way you test something is
On your child.
You put a lot of protocols, a lot of constraints on it, and you do a little bit at a time to make sure it's working. You don't
Right.
just here's everything, because then when one thing goes bad, you don't know why.
Right. Well, it's like if you just took Chat GPT and gave it a body that was way too strong
yeah.
Yeah,
and said, here, and give it to your child.
yeah. And M3GAN actually kind of calls it out later on in the
Yeah.
movie. You just set me up with this and said go figure it out.
Yeah.
That's not how
She's
you,
a tragic villain.
That's not how you do shit. Yeah.
Well, clearly, these people have never heard, these scientists, the laws of robotics before. Like, how do you not put those in?
Speaking of failing those laws,
Yeah.
is nobody held accountable for the 10 people that she murdered?
Well, I had that thought at the end of the movie. I was like, so who's this on? I was like, so the toy company is going to get sued for a lot of money.
Yeah. But
'Cause
the CEO's dead.
Well, the CEO's dead, but whoever's in charge is fucked. And she probably doesn't have a job anymore because she created a killer robot.
Yep.
And now has a child to support.
Yes.
But I bet the government would pay very handsomely.
That was one of my notes was, I can't believe that this goddamn toy company, their first thought with this incredible invention isn't to seek a military contract.
Maybe that's
They
a sequel.
Yeah.
Dude. Just an army of little 9-year-old robots just invading a country.
Invading on all fours.
Dude, yeah. Why'd she run like a dog?
I made this comment during the movie. Honestly, if someone just started running at you on all fours, it would be a little unsettling.
Yeah, but that doesn't seem like the most effective way to run.
No, not at all.
For a human?
Not at all.
For
Nor
a
a robot.
human-shaped robot?
No.
Well, she seemed psychotic. Like, it seemed like she was trying to scare the shit out of this little boy. So, for context, at this point, M3GAN
Killed the dog.
Wait,
Dog is dead. At this point,
dog
she
is
had killed
dead.
the dog.
But she's
Yeah.
programmed to protect to protect what's her name?
The little kid.
The little girl or whatever. I don't remember. Katie. And again, since she has no parameters or protocols, that encompasses she'll do whatever she has to.
Well, another part that you missed is she learned about death, which initially was not programmed at all, and she just figured that shit out. Then she was like, "Oh,
well, it seemed
you
like
guys
she
just
had-
kill all the time. What's wrong with it?"
It seemed like they gave the robot access to
Everything.
The internet. Yeah,
Again, seems like a bad idea. Be honest. Seems like these people don't know what they're doing, which I suppose is kind of the point of the movie. But still, I mean, it wouldn't be a movie if
For the sake of bitching and complaining on this podcast, these people did not know what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah, and to be clear, these aren't complaints about the writing or
I'm sorry
about the writing or like even the plot for that matter.
No.
It's just like these are dumb characters who have made dumb decisions, which is the point of the movie, but still.
And oftentimes that creates movies.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. No parameters. So she's killed a dog to protect her.
this is after the dog fucked them up.
Yeah.
So honestly, kind of fair.
Yeah.
Kind
Then
of.
what else?
Totally fair. I didn't really understand why the cops were like, sorry, nothing we can do. It's like, okay, but the dog bit her. So why would you not do something about this?
Well, it was
the argument was that she was
was on their
provoked
property.
because
yeah,
which
and
is still
also provoked or enticed. It seems like the dog set that in front of the hole, waiting for someone to stick a hand through.
I mean, look, either way, whatever it was, like you should still do something about it, right? Like this dog has now bit a child.
Yeah.
Runs across the lawn all the time. Unleashed.
Yeah, unleashed, and there wasn't a fence on the front of the house.
No. That's the thing is, fix a hole in the fence.
It's like he can go around.
Why? Yeah. Is it just, he doesn't know fucking how to move around an object?
So what are you talking about? Yeah. But yeah, it kills the dog.
Then
she goes to
a open house type deal for this alternative school.
Is that the big thing that happens next?
Alternative school.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's an outdoors school.
It's a bullshit school. It's a horse shit school that is dumb. It's a granola ass school. Dumb school. There's no classrooms.
No.
There's no school.
They're out in the middle of the forest.
They just meet in a park.
Yeah.
Yeah, and run around.
I'm thinking, what the fuck are they learning here? What could they possibly learn?
How to bully.
That's I was like, that doesn't seem like a conducive environment for a child to learn in. Just be like, we're going to pair two of you up and you're going to wander around the woods.
Yeah, figure some shit out.
Yeah.
Don't get bit by any poisonous animals or anything.
What is this goddamn school?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she goes to this fucking stupid ass school where they're like, you're going to wander around the woods with this terrible boy.
She gets paired up with this bully.
Super senior. He's like, these are like elementary school kids. He's
9.
like a freshman in high school age.
Yeah, she was 9 in this movie, the little girl.
Yeah, he was like 14, 15.
Yeah, he spoke in his voice had dropped.
With his mom, what was that? He's like, shut up.
No, she was like, shut up. Fuck off, Cindy.
Yeah,
whatever.
The conversation between the aunt Gemma and the boy's mom is crazy. It's so funny. She's like, "Is that your son?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, well he hit a growth spurt." You're like, that dude has facial hair. What the fuck? And then she's like, "Hey, play nice or whatever." And the kid turns around and goes, "Fuck off, Holly." It's like, whoa, god damn. And immediately I was just thinking, yeah, that wouldn't fly for me.
Dude, I have a black eye.
I would be beat up.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of points in this movie where I was like, man, is spanking not a thing anymore?
Not in 2022 now. No. It was not a thing.
I was like, come on, spank this kid.
Another social commentary.
Yeah, it's true.
Speaking no mas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's another part that brings up that in the movie, but we'll get to that. So
yeah, they're at the horrible school.
Yeah, the horrible school.
She's paired up with the horrible boy.
He's starting to bully her, right? And
M3GAN has, and by bully, like assault, like he's
hurt her.
pushing her on the tree. Yeah,
he's like taking like prickly I don't know.
Oh,
some
yeah,
kind
the
of-
first thing he did, it was
and
some, like...
slamming it into
I don't
her
know what
arm.
kind of fruit
Yeah.
that was.
I don't either, but he literally shoved it into her hand to the point it was stabbing her.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And,
M3GAN had been instructed because this little girl is severely attached to this doll and is throwing a fat fucking fit for a 9-year-old to bring it to school. And of course, it is a prototype of a robot, and they're testing it.
A highly intelligent robot.
Highly intelligent robot. So the robot has been ordered to sit like
On the toys table.
on the toys table or whatever.
Which there were a lot of toys on
There
the
was
table.
a lot of toys table, but she stood out like a sore fucking thumb.
Yeah, because it
That's
looks
not a toy.
like a robot.
Yeah.
That's
'Cause
not
it
a
looks
toy.
like the Terminator, dude. It's like taking Arnold Schwarzenegger to your school and then setting it on the toy table.
Yeah, it's,
It's like, what is this?
yeah,
This is a fucking giant robot.
yeah. You would, because I feel like first thought, if you're just walking past, you would think, why is that kid just sitting with all those? That's not a kid.
yeah.
That is
That
a,
is not a kid.
What the fuck is that?
it's like a robot.
And then you see her like little robot eyes blink. And you're like, oh
dude.
my god!
Oh yeah.
Freaked out everybody in the movie.
Which the
Yeah.
like the principal of the school, whoever isn't putting it on, reacts to it that way when she
She's
sees
like,
it. She's like, Jesus Christ! I was like, same, dude. This thing's awful. This thing's horrible. Why did you make it so creepy and awful?
yeah.
Terrible. But yeah, so this
Yeah.
kid is bullying her.
Bullying her.
M3GAN sees it.
M3GAN sees it. She comes up in a very eerie, very stealth way. And long story short,
surreptitious.
long story short, ends up ripping this kid's ear off. And then
Dude, he had
Yeah.
such a stretchy ear.
Yeah, that was a really
Yeah, that
stretchy
was
ear. I don't
really
think my
weird.
ear's stretching that far.
Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, ears are pretty hard.
Well,
Yeah.
they're mostly cartilage.
Well, they're not stretchy, I don't think.
No.
Are they?
No.
I mean, he had like a full Gumby ear.
Yeah.
Like his ear looked like Stretch Armstrong.
I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
this looked like
It
Luffy to me.
Did you ever have one of those like rubber like toys where it's just kind of built out of rubber so you can stretch
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what
That's
it
what it
was.
looked like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
And then she
Yeah.
just rips that thing off.
Yeah.
Like a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's gross.
Pretty graphic scene, though, I might add.
Yeah, and then I think there's a good Shrek reference.
Is there?
Yes, she says this is the part where you run, which I think Shrek says to the villagers in the first Shrek.
He
Shrek,
does say
the first
that.
Shrek.
Yep.
Okay.
So I was like, was
I
that a
didn't catch
Shrek
that.
reference, James Wan? I fucking got you. That's not going over my head. I fucking got it.
I didn't even think of it like that. I just thought it was like a snarky comment.
No, dude, I was like, that's full Shrek right there.
Yeah.
This
A
robot's
donkey.
watching. Yeah, dude, she should have said it in a Shrek voice. That would have been great. But then the kid does
Yeah.
run.
The kid does run. She chases him off of a cliff, and he
Gets hit by a car.
Gets hit by a car. Yeah. And then she goes and kills the next door neighbor, doesn't she? Because she's looking for her dog that she also killed. And she, at one point, comes up into the window and analyzes.
yeah,
bangs
she
on the window.
bangs on the
and
window.
she's like, I know you did it. And the robot, M3GAN,
M3GAN.
M3GAN. Yep.
like analyzes Katie's facial structures and recognizes that she's like scared and intimidated and ends up killing the lady with a power washer.
Oh, not just a power washer. She beat the shit out of this lady.
Oh,
Shot her
yeah.
hand with a nail
Nail
gun.
gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, she abused this woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Impersonated the dog. Just
Oh
kinda
yeah,
fucked
that
up.
stuff was that's crazy. She
Yeah.
can like change her voice.
Yep.
And it's not great, but
It's not.
No, it sounds a little robot-y, but
yeah. But she is a robot.
yeah.
Yes.
But yeah,
so then
she killed the fuck out of that neighbor.
yeah,
I mean, that was a powerful ass
that was
pressure
intense.
washer. I mean, it was like a fire hose.
Yeah,
I mean, it didn't look like a fire hose, but
No.
she reacted.
ripped
to
her
it.
skin
Yeah,
off.
dude, it's brutal.
Power
Ripped her skin.
washers will actually do that.
They will.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and really intense ones that they'll use for like cutting metal and shit will just like chop your finger off.
Yeah. Like we have some of those at work. Yeah, it'll
Really?
literally right through.
Oh my.
Oh, here at Dookie Spookies studio, you've got one of those?
Yep. Yeah.
Dude, what do you use
It's
that
over
for?
in the back.
Fuck. It's crazy.
So, cops are of course now asking questions, and she's now involved in or somehow connected to two murders. The cops are asking questions. Gemma gets
Only now. Only now
Only
does
now
she
is
tie.
she start
Oh,
connecting
is this
things
robot
out.
bad?
Yeah.
And things don't seem right.
Because she's trying to look at the video files
Oh yeah,
from her backup memory or whatever.
And
they
she
get
can't.
uploaded to the cloud, and M3GAN is deleting them or corrupting them. So then she gets suspicious.
Yeah. So then she takes M3GAN. I hate you. And
That's just the way it's spelled.
M3GAN, and can we talk about how psychotic this child turns into with not having her freaking
Katie?
doll? Yes.
Yeah.
She smacked the shit out of Gemma.
Oh my God.
She was kicking the seat on the way there. She was genuinely
throwing
like,
chairs.
freaking out.
Freaking out.
She literally
Like, they brought the therapist
going
in.
through withdrawal. Like, she's heroin addict going through withdrawals. Like, freaking the fuck out.
I don't know. When I saw her kick her aunt who was driving, I was like, dude, if I would have done that shit, oh my God, we would have been pulled over on the side of the road. I would have gotten my ass beat.
If I would have done this, we would have no podcast.
I would not be here.
I would not be
Let's
here.
be clear.
We were not making it to that destination.
Dude, absolutely not. I mean, Jesus. Yeah. The aunt, and she's not really cut out to be a good mom.
No.
Which is fair because, she's living her life and then she's got this child thrust upon her after her sister dies.
Yeah.
But, yeah. The child turns into a psychopath really quickly.
Yeah. Literally during some of the dialogue between her and especially in the car ride to like her job, some of the conversation genuinely did sound like an addict begging for drugs.
Yeah.
Like, no, I need it. It helps me.
Can I just see her for 10 minutes?
Yeah. Just a little bit. I just want to know she's okay. What's wrong? I need to know.
Just one more hit.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
If you would have substituted a couple words, you can just reuse this script for like a drug addict.
It's true. Maybe it's an allegory for addiction.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what I was getting at.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with the conversation like that addiction to technology has brought up like nowadays with all these iPad kids and shit.
Yeah, and I thought the conversation between Gemma and the social services lady was good when she was talking about, hey, have you heard of the attachment theory?
Yeah.
And how your child is becoming attached after a traumatic event to this robot and not to you, and that's not good.
Yeah.
I was like, this seems like...
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, it's like, no shit. Are you crazy? That fucking social security lady, though, not social security, social services lady.
Yeah.
When she first shows up at their house earlier in the movie, she's like, I'm just going to observe how you guys interact.
That was so weird.
I was like, I hate this. This is dumb. And then she's like, well, why don't you
toss the ball?
Yeah, and they're like, well, why don't you guys play with some toys together? She's like, I don't have any toys.
Yeah, I just fucking moved here yesterday.
Dude, I lived here alone. And my sister just died, and now I've got her child. I don't have any toys here. She's like, well, what about these? She's like, those are collectibles. And the fucking social services lady is like appalled that she's got these collectible toys that aren't allowed to be open. I'm like, that seems like a not uncommon thing.
That seems like a pretty normal thing.
Yeah, and then she makes her open this collectible and roll it around on the ground.
I was like, she opened that quite aggressively, I might add, and it was kind of funny.
I mean, and look, I think that collecting toys is like the dumbest thing you can collect, especially when the point of it is not to open it. Like collecting something that you actively cannot use seems dumb to me.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, I get people who collect cars, you can drive them. You know, people who collect
shoes,
you wear it, like whatever it is. But to collect a toy and then just keep it in the box is like, what?
Yeah, it just sits there.
It's dumb, but also not uncommon. So the social services lady, I couldn't understand why she didn't understand that. Yeah. But later in the movie, she gets a bit more sympathetic, I think. Because she's like, yeah, you're kind of fucking up this child a little bit.
The child flipped shit on her.
Which is kind of weird that she was such a hard ass the day after she got a child. But
read the
after
room.
weeks of you ruining this child with a killer robot.
Yeah, like
no, hey, I understand. You really have to
when she was understanding and when she was a hard ass were flipped.
Yeah.
She should have been understanding at first and then become a hard ass. But instead she came in as a hard ass and then was like, oh, maybe consider this. It's like, hey man, why don't you be a hard ass now?
Yeah.
What the fuck? This is crazy.
Now that there's actual detrimental effects happening to this child.
And actively,
And people are dying.
I mean, I don't know where are we at? What do we want to talk about?
So we're about at when M3GAN is locked up and breaks out.
Yeah.
So this is
This
when
is
she
towards
really
the
goes on her killing spree.
Yeah.
She so after they bring her back,
Yeah,
they
they're trying to
lock her
debut
up.
this new, the toy company's set to debut this new incredible toy that they have, which costs, I will remind you, $10,000.
Jesus.
Who's going to pay $10,000 for a toy?
The last toy you'll ever need.
Yeah, that was the whole point of it.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. But still,
I'd have no
$10,000?
toys.
That's insane.
No.
Like how many people are going to buy that? And it costs $100,000 to make?
I bet, even though they don't have a contract, I could see like
A military contract?
some military. Yeah,
Dude.
the army buying a bunch. How hard do you think it'd be to teach them how to use a gun?
Oh, dude, I bet the CIA was looking real close at this whole situation.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
They were
said,
interested.
"Oh, let's
Like, it did what?
figure some of this out."
It danced and killed a grown man?
wow.
That's incredible. Can we get it to do a TikTok dance and kill a grown man as well?
Yeah. How do we pair with one of these things? Just allegedly, if I wanted it for my kid,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Just how would I?
Of course.
How would we pair?
Yeah. Can you make a big version that looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
Can you do that? Because we'd love that.
Yeah.
That'd be incredible.
Really big, muscular.
Can you make it like absurdly strong and maybe evil? That'd be great.
Shit, can we build cannons into this thing?
How about?
Dude, it's just got like fucking guns for
Yeah.
arms.
How do you
Oh my
feel about
God.
bulletproof material?
Yeah. You ever considered making it out of Kevlar? So fucking stupid. Oh my God.
no.
But yeah, they're gonna debut this thing and they're running some tests on it because
Yeah.
Gemma is like, I think this thing's killing people.
Yeah. M3GAN hacks Gemma's coworker's
yeah,
phone.
she can like
Has a
hack
phones.
Hack phone, yeah.
She can
has a
intercept calls.
conversation with her using her coworker's voice.
In lights, anything like
Anything.
electronic.
She can pretend to shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just running rampant.
Yeah.
It's bad.
As the two people are, Gemma is like teams looking through some of the logs or code or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They see this thing for like a call override.
Yeah.
Or whatever
Yeah.
it's called.
Intercepted call.
Yeah. As they're looking at it, their computer shuts down
Yeah.
with the lights.
Yeah, they're like, oh fuck, she's still connected to the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
How
internet.
did we fuck this
They're
up too?
connected to everything.
Yeah, that's great. So then they unplug her,
Yeah.
and then she.
Dude smacks her with the
she's-
big stick before
Yeah.
that.
Which I thought was stupid. Like I don't know why you would provoke her like that.
I would just, if it were me, and I were in that
Mm-hmm.
situation, I would simply get a gun and I would shoot it in the head.
Well, they're supposed to debut
Well,
this.
if I were gonna hit it, I would want to, like, break off an arm so it can't choke me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's me.
Maybe I'm built different,
Yeah. Maybe
but I would
built
simply
different.
shoot it with a gun.
Yeah.
But yeah, then it grabs this dude, hangs him with a little wire. He's swinging around. The other coworker is freaking out, and then
Yeah.
M3GAN makes the room explode.
Yep. Then continues because they're at the office now, where the like debut press conference to show her off is at.
Yeah, at this point, I think Gemma and Katie have made up, and they've accepted like, oh, maybe you don't need a terrifying robot friend.
Yeah.
Maybe you just need me. And then she's like, I'm taking my daughter
home.
Yeah, my niece home.
My niece home, yeah.
Yeah.
And so she's not there. She's gone.
Nope.
But meanwhile, M3GAN is
Escaping.
Yeah.
And murdering everything in her path to try and get
She
back to
does
Katie.
the infamous TikTok dance
Yeah.
as she's walking up to the CEO of the company.
Yup. Whole Ronnie.
Yep.
Old Ronnie was not happy about it.
Then-
he did a great run. He had some
He did.
great
He
runs in
did.
this.
Yeah, no,
Yep,
really.
yep.
Yeah.
Even his fall down.
Yeah,
like-
it was
I love it.
great. Yeah. Again, killed the role.
Yeah.
Wait, can we
Killer.
pause? What was the point of that scene of that dude taking like all her files? Do you think that's to set up for a sequel? Because I feel like that never came back.
I don't even remember that.
Maybe it is. Yeah. Well, so it was right after the CEO guy was like, okay, keep this hush. We can't let this get leaked. We can't let this get out.
Right. Because they don't want Hasbro to steal it.
Yeah. And then it cuts to his assistant stealing all the files for it.
Oh, was that the guy that she kills in the elevator?
Yep.
Right. Well, he's dead, so.
Yeah. And M3GAN does.
But she knew that.
yeah, M3GAN knew.
So maybe
But she knows
was-
everything, 'cause
Yeah.
she's
She's a
the
genius.
internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a genius. But yeah, she kills
Kill CEO.
Kills Ronnie. Great death scene.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love how he's like, shut the door, and then, and then the guy shuts it on him.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, careful what you wish for, Ronnie.
Yeah.
But then he gets stabbed,
Yep.
and then it's the
dude.
the assistant.
Yep,
He's
assistant.
in the elevator.
He gets stabbed.
No, he gets his throat slit.
Oh, yep.
Because she's like, what does she say to him?
Oh,
I don't.
She's like, oh, why? I can't believe you've killed your boss.
yeah. And she's like,
killed
oh,
you.
how could you live with that? He's like,
I can't.
She's like, can you live with that? With killing your boss? Yes, I can.
I can.
Absolutely. I sure can.
Yeah. So she's framing him because she's like, oh, you stole these documents just to see if you could, and then your boss found out and you killed him. And he's like, no. I didn't do that.
Yeah, she's like, how can you can you really live with yourself after doing that?
It's like-
yes, absolutely. Yes, I can.
Then she just slits his throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.